I love my house, but I no longer own it. My husband, Daniel, and I built the house when we were first married 24 years ago, and we have remodeled and expanded it as our family grew and our finances allowed. Now it is all paid for and the way I want it. It is not a mansion, but it is a beautiful home. We have a pool and hot tub out back and overlook a lake that has an abundance of bird life to watch, and also alligators and snakes. This is the South. The mosquitoes and gnats meant we had to screen the pool and hot tub. When you live here, you have to get along with the locals. I have so many memories here. The excitement of being newlyweds, maturing as husband and wife, the arrival of our 2 daughters, memories of their growing up years. That is what is hardest to leave. But Daniel is divorcing me for a younger woman. Isn't that a classic? I guess he is in the midst of the famous male midlife crisis. I am 45 and he is 47. We have 2 daughters, Charlotte, 23, newly married, pregnant, and living here in town, and Scarlett, 21, a señor duque. Financially, we are doing very well. Daniel is the CEO of a small but very profitable electronics company. I am only a high school math teacher, so I do not have Daniel's financial resources. I am taking a huge financial toll on Daniel because he wants out, but he can afford it. He will buy out my share of the house. It was appraised at $427,000, so he will pay me $213,500 in cash for my share when we sign the final divorce papers in a few weeks. I can't afford to buy him out, which he would love to do. But financially, he can't. He really have no choice. He and his new love will be living here in my lovely home. I try to hate her, but I can't. She is a sweet, bubbly little thing who is just so in love with Daniel. Her hormonal development is outpacing her intellectual development. Bless her heart. She's like a puppy that just peed on the floor. You're mad as you clean up the pee, but you can't stay mad at her and her bumbling attempts to be a grown woman. Only 24 years old, 1 year older than Charlotte. That won't last long. Now, Daniel, I can hate him. Well, it is all ancient history now. This is my last day here with my memories. Daniel is at work, so I have the house all to myself. Just me and my memories. This afternoon, I will move my last things into the new apartment and leave my house keys on the table. Saturday, 1 week later. Hi, Mom. Wow, something smells good. Charlotte had stopped by my new apartment for coffee, and I was pulling her favorite apple turnovers out of the oven. She was the picture of a happy, excited young mother-to-be. It was good to see. We grabbed cups of coffee and a turnover each and sat down at my cramped little dining room table. I sighed, missing the beautiful view of the lake from the house. I drank many a cup of coffee sitting at home just looking out the window. Charlotte said, "Mom, have you been over to the house?" "No," I replied. "Why not?" "It stinks. It's horrible." I arched my eyebrows at Charlotte. "Stinks? What do you mean?" "It stinks. You know, like foul, putrid, rotten. Dad and his floozy are going crazy. They have all kinds of people out there cleaning and trying to find out what is causing the stink." Neither of my daughters took the divorce well. They were angry with Daniel and despised his fiancée. They both called her a tramp to her face and refused to use her real name. Neither girl planned to attend the wedding. "Charlotte, honey, you and Scarlett have to get over this divorce and Daniel's remarriage. It will make your lives more comfortable." "Not a chance. Scarlett and I are furious with the way Dad treated you." "I'm fine. Don't worry about me." I changed the subject. "So they can't find what's causing the smell. Is it really that bad?" "Yes, it is really bad. They moved to a motel and the bitch is looking at new houses. Says she'll never live there." We moved on to other more pleasant topics for the rest of our visit. Final paperwork. The next Monday afternoon, Daniel and I met with our lawyers to sign the divorce papers and make the final financial transfers. After the sad process of ending our 24-year marriage, we rose and said our goodbyes. As I was heading for the door, I said to Daniel, Charlotte says something died in the walls of the house or something, and the smell is awful. Daniel turned red in the face and exploded. You can't believe this! We had to move into a motel. My fiancé is looking at new houses right now. She says there is no way she will live there ever. I gotta get her off my back. The damn realtor says we can't even put the house on the market if it stinks like this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the damn thing. Daniel, you know I love this house. I just can't afford to buy it on my salary. I could maybe offer you $100,000 for it out of our settlement. That's not even fair for a 427th house, I realize, but that's all I can afford. Daniel stopped dead in his tracks. Really? You know the place stinks to high heaven? Well, school's out at the end of the week. I have the whole summer to work on it. There must be a reason, and I have 3 months to find it. It may take a while, but I will fix it. I paused for a beat. Daniel, it really wasn't a good idea to bring your new love into our house. She would never be happy there and would eventually resent it. Buy your fiancée her own house. I guess you are right. Done, it's a deal. I'll sell the house back to you for $100,000. I have to get this albatross off my neck somehow. I turned to my lawyer and asked, Can you handle that for us? Sure. I'll have all the paperwork ready for you to sign by Wednesday afternoon. 1 week later. I am back in my house, which I now own. All the windows are open. I have every fan I can borrow blowing fresh air into the house. I have scrubbed, chlorinated, and lysed, and the stench is gone. Charlotte came in for another of our increasingly routine and delightful mother-daughter morning chats. Hey, Mom, what have you been doing? It smells great in here. Just a lot of elbow grease and disinfectant. We grabbed our coffees and sat down to look out over our beautiful lake. We silently watched the ancient natural drama of a magnificent Louisiana heron stealthily sneaking through the shallows. They are cunning and deadly hunters not to be underestimated, especially if you are a fish. The heron quickly swooped down, grabbed an unsuspecting fish, and with a few shakes of his head, swallowed his desperately struggling prey. That's always something to see, Charlotte exclaimed with a smile. Well, what caused that awful smell? She asked, changing the subject. I replied, I'm still not sure. All the curtains and carpets had to go. They were ruined, but everything else seems to be okay now. Charlotte was watching me, but I looked away, refusing to meet her eyes. Mom? Is there something you're not telling me? I looked back at Charlotte and grinned. Yes, there is. On my last day here, I bought 25 pounds of fresh shrimp with their heads on at the seafood market. The shells are hollow with screw-on ends. I drilled a couple of small holes in the top of each rod, stuffed the rods with the shrimp, and then screwed the ends back on with duct tape so nothing would leak. Oh man, nothing stinks like rotting shrimp. Charlotte stared at me, wide-eyed and speechless. I continued, With those 12-foot ceilings, nobody ever thought to look up at the rods as the source of the smell. I was just being mean and petty. I never expected this delightful outcome. Charlotte covered her mouth in laughter. Oh, Mom, that was so naughty but brilliant. Subscribe to our channel to keep your partner from cheating on you, and listen to the next story because this story is nothing compared to the next.